2007, the final year of this car's production, and let's be honest, objectively better time for not only the automotive industry, but the entire human race here on planet Earth. You may laugh at me calling an 07 car old, but may I remind you that 2007 was nearly 2 decades ago, and now you're balding. This car is from an age that just does not exist anymore. Physical AC buttons, seats that could go flat, manual gearboxes that would clunk.
What's more fun than a turbo? A turbo with all-wheel drive.
Headlights that were soft and warm, doors that were thin, that rattled, that reminded you of your vulnerability. That you're driving what is effectively an adult Hot Wheels car. That was the point. These cars were put together like a glorified Lego set that emphasized repairability and tuner culture, that shipped with a total lack of driver assist. I mean, this thing had no traction control, no electronic stability control. It didn't ship with these two motherfuckers, but they're in the shot anyway, aren't they? So, heavy hydraulic steering that would require you to learn steering wheel karate just to make a basic 3-point turn. Keys that were actually keys. RF signal that was nope. 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 Hood scoops and wings that did cool but looked sexy as hell, dude. Supercar, big wing. Sports car, big wing. Rally car, big wing. Commuter car with a wing. If it don't have a wing, I don't really want it in my fucking sight, mate. That includes you, by the way. These edges were soft and rounded. These indicators blinked softly. These cars were reflective of a warmer and a calmer time. A time when the manufacturers actually served you and I, the customer, and not emission goals, not carbon credits, and certainly not globalists. A time when cool factor was the selling point and not a total fucking afterthought. A time when reliability was a priority and not something to intentionally handicap and abuse for after-sales profits. I don't know why I popped the hood to show my car as an example. This thing has blown up at least once already. I didn't really think this through. Maybe get a Lexus or something. A time before cars were disposable, treated as transportation toilet paper. A time before Subaru turned the STI into a fucking hatchback. Smash Mouth and Jamiroquai were still popular. Drake and Josh were still on the air. Graduation by Kanye had just dropped. The best Fast and the Furious movie was out. The crash of '08 had yet to happen. The iPhone had yet to release, and the social media antichrist yet to consume our fucking souls. But most importantly, it was a time before the Jaguar I-Pace existed. This is my 2007 Subaru WRX STI. It's starting to rust, the boot is leaking, the TGV valves failed, the paint is thinner than my grip on reality after 4 bong hits and 2 monster whites. I slid it into a curb and bent a control arm. The entire engine blew up 6 months into my ownership because the head gaskets had gone old and crispy. The paint on the rear bumper cracked after I reversed it into a parking bollard on the second date with my girlfriend like some silly gimp. Why didn't you break up with me after I reversed into a parking bollard?
I felt bad enough that your engine blew up. Now your TGV
valves.
Oh my god. TGV valves failed. And that you slid into a curb like a dumbass.
And the other week, thanks to this lorry, I shit myself in it. Also, while recording this video, right now, I'm leaking fuel. I only realized this once I pulled in to shoot this video here. I am a long way from home. I don't know if I'm going to make it back. I have someone coming to give me fuel in a jerry can. I'm gonna have to get that repaired. And as of making this video, I have like all in my bank account. So I'm kind of banking on this video doing well enough to fix the fuel leak. So patreon.com/gethip. Please, because YouTube pays me basically cool for this naive, youthful, independent journalism. Yeah, boy!
For those of who join the Patreon, you literally paid for the fuel in this tank and the extra camera batteries to shoot this very video with. Thank you for believing what we do here.
Or you can just like and subscribe. I am pretty desperate after all. I've owned this car for over 1.5 years now, and despite a testing relationship, it's ultimately brought me more fun, more memories, and even more love than I possibly could have imagined when my 20-year-old dumbass sold a V8 powered RS5 just to buy it. The decision that I have been quite fairly berated for online by middle-aged bald dudes on their third divorce from the German car community. Owning such a problematic car has forced me to not only develop as a driver, but also as a human being. I've been told repeatedly and probably endlessly to give it up for something more sensible, something more reliable and affordable. But if I had done that, literally none of this would have happened. These memories, these friends wouldn't have been made. So really, I'm just making this video out of fear. Fear for fellow 20-something-year-olds that are deciding between risking it all to follow a dream or trying to contort themselves into some eco-box just like everybody else. This video and my advice is not sensible. It's not economical, and it sure as hell is not ULEZ fucking compliant. Really, I am just here to plead with you, to tell you why, if you have the financial means, you should join the rebellion. You should fly in the face of this government-sponsored, parental guidance-infused fest that is the modern car market, and you should adopt an early 2000s banger off of Facebook Marketplace, effective immediately. Like a real 22-year-old male with 20 grand worth of credit card debt. In case you were previously unaware and were maybe having a good day until you stumbled upon this lovely video, the UK government, in an attempt to encourage people into newer, more carbon-friendly cars, encouraged a scrappage scheme that would see a driver scrap their old car for cash from the government to put towards buying a new one that emits less. Most notably was the infamous 2009 scrappage scheme that saw 10 RX-7s scrapped. You know, Hans' car from Tokyo Drift, 10 of them gone. Finito. Worse yet, 31 Toyota fucking Supras were reduced to atoms. Amongst a litany of other late 90s and early 2000s cars lost to this utterly wasteful scheme. Now, if an early 2000s car wasn't scrapped and was kept on the road like mine, the UK government have that covered too, because they've continued to encourage many of these cars off of the road entirely by progressively increasing road tax. This car, like I have mentioned in like the last 5 videos, is £730 a year to drive legally on our great British roads. This car is from a time when it was acceptable for manufacturers to actually have fun, to put a big wing and gold rims on it from factory, to push more horsepower than was actually advertised. To do any of this now would require most car manufacturers to go to war with the world governments over carbon credits and emission goals. So the silent, nearly 500 horsepower equivalent electric SUV tanks driven by 80-year-old Susan are the result. My friend Leon's 120 horsepower, naturally aspirated Subaru Impreza GX is still, to this day, the best car I have ever driven.
Mate, you're loving this.
And a car that nobody's going to get to drive again after this Clio driver jumped to giveaway and destroyed it. It had infinitely more character, tactility, soul than any modern car that I've driven.
So Charlie, how was the car then?
You had me like wanting to sell my RS5 for this.
My point is, you need a consistent drip feed of adrenaline in your life. It's good for you. Sitting in a soundproofed Bluetooth microwave on wheels surely isn't. So many of these new cars, I think, just inherently invoke unengaged and unsafe driving because of the lack of vulnerability that's felt by the driver.
Feel how like vulnerable this feels? Look how it bounces. The hood scoop, look at it rattle.
When you feel like you're driving a tank, you drive like you're driving a tank.
They're old and they're going like, oh no.
The lack of technical input from the driver, I think, contributes to this as well. I mean, the Tesla Model Y uses a touchscreen to select drive, reverse, and park. These people may as well just be asleep at the wheel. They'll be the first people to be replaced once autonomous cars become more commonplace. Not only do I not believe that these cars are any better for the environment due to how few miles many of them actually end up doing before being written off or scrapped because of minor damage or inflated repair costs that the insurance companies can't shell out to fix, but I certainly don't think that they're any safer for other drivers on the road or pedestrians. The insurance data and the rate at which these EVs are hitting pedestrians is fucking horrendous. Contrary to what Linda in the local Facebook group may believe, cars actually should make some noise and should actually require some base skill level to drive.
Whoa, 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 Jesus, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Whoa, 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 clutch in.
Bro.
Okay.
It's so
Bit of gas. Less. Jesus Christ.
Driving this car makes me feel like I have monster energy flowing through my veins. I'm wide awake and I am locked in, as are my neighbors when I started up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, Carl. I feel like I'm actually engaging with a piece of real machinery, quickly running through the gears, hitting that perfect rev match downshift a second before flooring it into boost and letting that turbo run wild. If you're driving a 2025 Corsa, what are you actually feeling other than shame? Early 2000s cars are an endangered species now. And they're seen as canaries in the coal mine of black and grey EV-infested roads. The Impreza, the Miata, the Civic, the goddamn R34 GTR, the V8-powered 6th gen Corvette, the Chrysler motherfucking 300, the R8, the M3, this Celica, this Chevy Silverado, this fucking Mitsubishi Lancer. This isn't just transport. This isn't economical. This is £730 a year in annual road tax and negative 10 grand for an entire engine rebuild. But caring for what has become my steed, one consistent friend, one thing to work solely on, to upkeep, it's pushed me to work a lot harder in all aspects of my life. It's benefited me greatly and has resulted in these very videos, has resulted in these experiences. This isn't just about the cars. It's not just about having a big hood scoop, gold wheels, and a big fucking wing and a loud exhaust. This is about choosing an existence drenched with soul, with some depth, some hardship, some love, instead of choosing a fucking cage on wheels posing as security, comfort, and Apple CarPlay. We have a responsibility, especially if you're a child of the 2000s like myself, to maintain these cars, to keep them on the road, and to keep that dream alive. Like, come on lads, we can't leave these to rot on Facebook Marketplace. Even if you bin it into a hedge, at least you binned it into a hedge, rather than it being crumpled up into a scrapped cube to appease a ULEZ zone. Anyway, I am off to, oh my god, my knees are f***ed. I'm off to probably blow my transmission, or be crashed into by an EV driver, or bin it into a hedge because I am still a 22-year-old after all. Please join my Patreon, there's some cool content on there, and I do actually legitimately need the money. I have no Y-Food brand deals yet. Okay, kiss your mother for me. Bye-bye now. Not right now, but I got no food, man. I'm sorry. I gotta make a YouTube video. I'll hang out with you afterwards. I mean, you can just stand there, that's fine.